All right, hello everyone. Okay, so I posted a status earlier saying that I was going to be talking about how I got off all my pills. I don't take any more pills as medication. I only use cannabis. So before I start the video, I just want to say that this is not for everyone, nor am I encouraging people to completely cut their meds off and try cannabis, although I do want you to know that that is an option and you don't have to be prescribed 50 million medications just to be okay. You could get one strain of marijuana that has all the perfect medications, aka terpenes, and just feel as good, which is what I did. So I had lost my insurance, and that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That gave me the opportunity to really put my passion and my studying to work on terpenes. So I had already started, the Terp Fairy and started, the cannabis education before this happened. I'm gonna do some backstory. I was institutionalized at a psychiatric hospital where I ended up being prescribed 7 different medications. Some of them I don't even remember. The 3 that I kept continuing to use was Lamictal, Vyvanse, and my epilepsy medication, levetiracetam, or Keppra. You can call it Keppra. And so I eventually, just couldn't afford that 7 medications. So I went down to those 3 and they seemed to help, along with another one that I was prescribed later on, which was guanfacine, which is an ADHD medication. So I was, using those while using marijuana, and I found that some terpenes or some strains of marijuana made me feel even more weird or paranoid, and it was the Vyvanse that I was on that just, I didn't feel right. It would make my mind race even more sometimes when I smoked as well. And I was just on, four medications that, some of them had horrific side effects. So I really don't blame the terpenes or the marijuana where I was blaming myrcene, because myrcene's a psychoactive terp. And so I figured it interacted with the Vyvanse, which can also, it's an amphetamine. So, but that's not entirely true. It could have been all the other medications counteracting. So I went ahead and I lost my insurance, and I just stopped. I had tried to stop Lamictal, which is a mood stabilizer, one time about 2-3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. And I ended up going crazy, like punching myself in the face, like hitting my head against walls. Like, it was raw and real. Violet, what are you doing? I wanted to not be here anymore. Like, I wanted to just be dead. I wanted to die. My brain was so overwhelmed. The imbalance was crazy. I was crazy. Like, you've seen psych ward movies and Padded Room, I should have been in that, main star. Crazy. But, and no one should ever be made to feel like that, ever be made. Well, this time I did quit it again cold turkey, and I was kind of had to, but I was preparing myself for the worst. And actually, there was no worst because of terpenes. All right, so I have done a couple other videos on these terpenes that I'm going to mention. Some of them I haven't done a video on, so this is like a video on that terpene. But so after doing all my research, kind of trying to find my terpene profile, what I like, What I don't like, pinene. Pinene is a natural mood stabilizer, and it also is a happy terpene. So I definitely, for my terpene profile, I used a lot of pinene, especially with the ADHD part of it and the aspect, because it's really good for brain health, memory, focus. So I actually, Vibe is a company, and they have gummies, and one of them is called Peak, and it has pinene and eucalyptal in that, and I use that to kind of maintain my neurotransmitter balance while my body was getting off of the amphetamine. And it was like I had no withdrawals, nothing. And usually, because I had, withdrawn from Vyvanse before, I would have weird cravings, and I would just be real irritable and nah, and just not pleasant. This time I was pleasant. Even my boyfriend will tell you it's crazy. But along with using the pinene and the eucalyptal and that, which eucalyptal is a lot like pinene in that aspect. It's good for focus, alertness, cognitive thinking, things of that nature. But I found bisabolol is my number one favorite. Bisabolol is a mind clearing terpene. So it, you just feel peace. You feel you feel something, obviously, but you don't feel anything at all because your brain's not going at 50 million miles a minute. So you can take a deep breath and relax and reflect on, I don't know, the past minute of what your brain would have just been, but it can relax. So we have bisabolol, pinene. Also, I use some B-caryophyllene as well. It's good it's an anticonvulsant. And also what I loved about B-caryophyllene is that it binds to your body, but also to the other terps in the profile and enhances them. So I like to use that as my enhancer. The other terpene that I use, so I'm doing, basically right now I'm just doing a top 4 of what I use to help me get through the withdrawals. Linalool. Linalool is like lavender. It's another really good anticonvulsant and the best terpene for anxiety. Remember this, let's go back to bisabolol. Bisabolol is the best terpene for depression. So that's that mind clear, peace. Violet, quit biting me. And then, oh my gosh. And so then we have linalool. And so it's a muscle relaxant, anticonvulsant. I'm epileptic. So, I don't even take medicine for that anymore. I just let the terpenes do the work. But so I have those, 2 anticonvulsants with the B-caryophyllene and the linalool. I have my mood stabilizer to replace the Lamictal and the guanfacine, which is pinene and raises your serotonin levels. And then we have our bisabolol, which is the great for depression and acted as, another one of my mood stabilizers. So instead of getting on a medication where the side effects are going to be that you feel like you're crazy and need to be in a padded room, then let's just not do that. So that's my story. I really encourage everyone to educate yourself, especially if you are a marijuana patient and you're new to it. You don't know about terpenes. Some terpenes can be harmful to you. As a fair warning, my body does not set well with terpinolene when it's in sativas. Same with Guaiol. So just be very cautious about that. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm the Terp Fairy. But all right, so thank you guys, whoever watched this. And if you have any questions, I'm right here. All right, Terp Fairy out. Love you guys.